Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Trails from Zero. We are back in Crossbell and we still have a few parts left to go. So, western part is done, east is now up for grabs, but there are still places we need to be in the southern part, so shall we do that first? I think a little round trip to the hospital is not a bad thing. I wonder if at some point we're gonna get a quest in the Geofront again. I know that in Azure it probably would be because with Cold Steel we saw a big computer down there and I'm pretty sure we're involved in getting it there, so at some point yes, but will we do that in Zero? Well, I heard that some enthusiasts in the Empire collect railway models. Ooh, the envy, if only I were born a noble. Since the models are handmade by artisans, they tend to get unbelievably expensive. If I ever become rich, I will retire early and gaze at railway models for the rest of my life. I remember years ago that there was some point before I started looking into Twitch and YouTube and such that I was really into railway models as well. I didn't have them on the floor, but I loved watching them when I went to the amusement park in Holland that had those dioramas, which was amazing. Who knows? If things turn out differently, I might have become a railway freak just like him. Ah, why did we have to come during this off-season? Roaming the streets among the bustle of the city is the best part. Well, come back next month, and I'm pretty sure it will be busy as hell. Well, we originally planned to visit next month during the anniversary festival. I can't handle crowds though, so we came to relax before it gets packed. Then you probably made the right choice. Right now, it's doable. It's not too busy, but it's not, let us say, silent all over. The missus and I are going to visit Liberal. The time department store is pretty crazy, but I heard that the Bose market is just as crazy. That is true. To be honest, if I had to choose between the two, I would choose the Bose market every single time. Oh, I think my husband fell in love with Liberal when he went to watch the martial arts competition 2 years ago. I think it's been a bad influence on me, cause I can't help but constantly wonder about what kind of place Liberal is. Whatever, I'm going to enjoy this trip to the best of my ability. You go for it. Alright, I'm gonna have a quick look over the quest we have. That's the Eastern Crossbell Highway, which is towards Amorica. We have a herb, which we need to go to the hospital, which we are going right now, so we have one quest. And this is both when we go to the eastern part of Crossbell City. Okay, so we only have the rare herb at the college. Alright, good. We can definitely do that. And I don't think there's anything worth stopping by between the college and Crossbell, is there? No, let's go straight there. Because I think if we go to the fork, it will just take us to a gigantic sandbank or the ruins in the forest, where we're not allowed to go there yet. Welcome to St. Ursula's Hospital. Lately, all I've been hearing about is that Arkan SEAL troop. I sort of want to see them, to be honest. Yeah, I know what you mean. I want to see them too. And let's be honest, I would do anything. Even feign an investigation just to be on the front row seat of that show on their preview event. I think it's going to be amazing. The anniversary festival is only a month away. Philia invited me to come along, but I don't know if I can take some time off yet. I hope you can. I'm pumped for it. I'll try, okay? Well, it sounds like Randy invited her and her friends to the festival. I sure hope I can take some time off for the festival. Well, if I keep working hard, I'm sure I'll be able to negotiate for a little break. Yeah, it looks like Randy himself at least very enthusiastic about the idea. Alright, let's go into the hospital the same way we always go. Through the inn. Oh, the medical college residents are unbelievably passionate. They even study while eating, if you can believe it. Study while you're young and you'll be able to have plenty of fun in the future, that's what I say. Maybe I should create a menu full of food that's known to stimulate the brain. That would probably help the resident studies. How about fish eyes? If you're gonna sell fish eyes, I won't eat here. At all. I still got some time before our surgery lecture, so I think I'll grab a bite to eat while brushing up on the chapter. I'm often told that doing so is bad manners, but I can't help but feel that not multitasking is a waste of time. I still got some time before surgery lecture. Don't mind them. Spend your time however you want, and if you feel like you're not wasting time, then you're not wasting time. Alright, still not allowed in there. I wonder if we're gonna get a side quest at some point that will get us inside that room. Because there is a room, so I wanna be inside there at least once. Well, Leighton just got back and beelined straight to his room for some rest. It sounded like Dr. Gunther heaped a whole ton of work onto him, now that he's recovered from last month's attack. Well, I guess you have to clutch onto every little bit of downtime you can get. I do think that Gunther really took advantage of him and his goodwill. Honestly, it's hard to figure out what Dr. Gunther is thinking most of the time. At first I thought he was handing off some of his work to me to help me with my studies, but I'm starting to think he just didn't want to do it. I can 100% guarantee you that he doesn't want to do it. Definitely. Well, good luck with that. You have to stand up for yourself or he's gonna abuse you all the way, I'm sure. No one here. Let's go look at how it is at the ladies. Oh, I'm taking a day off, but I can't neglect my studies. My roommate Flora always squeezes in some studying until it's time to eat, so I've got to keep up with that too. My practical training is coming up next month if I want any chance of wowing my professors. I have to start preparing now. Then why did you have a day off if you're not gonna rest up? Cause if you don't ever rest, neither does your mind, and at some point it just won't take in any more information. Do take your rest, really. It's full speed ahead on studying for me. There's no way I'm walking out of there without a perfect score. Hopefully. Well, I hope so too. I really do. Okay. Looks like she is hard at work. Let's see if we can find her. Always check upstairs. With the research department we are not allowed to get into. Studies say that the color green is quite soothing to people. So, in order to bring a little peace of mind to our patients, we had a lot of flowers and greenery planted in and around St. Ursula. Well, even if it isn't soothing, seeing nature does calm me, and for me it's not by the color green, it's just because it's nature. This is St. Ursula's research ward. There's no reason to enter for now. We'll get a reason someday, I'm sure. Oh, is that you, special support section? We didn't even open our mouths yet. I thought I recognized the sound of those footsteps. I can remember the footsteps of distinct people like you and Cecile quite well. You can tell who we are just from our footsteps? Wow, that's really impressive. I'm glad you think so, but to tell you the truth, every individual has their own way of walking. For example, bracers who come to visit me often, like my father, walk as if they are always on guard. I guess we sound pretty vulnerable then. How demoralizing. Chin up, you two. Anyone is going to seem outclassed when compared to someone like Arios. Did I say something rude? No, that's not it. It just reminded us that we still have a lot of room for improvement, that's all. Oh, glad I could help then? She didn't mean anything bad by it. Linen closet? Yeah. You know, next month's anniversary festival is fast approaching us. And with it comes that event. Oh, I can hardly wait. Is he talking about the budget meetings? That's not exciting, that's extremely boring. Last year I was only able to take part in it thanks to my ties with Speaker Hartman. I can hardly wait. Having light coughing fits, are we? Be sure to take your medicine later. No excuses. Okay. Hey doctor, what are you going to do during the festival? Now there's a good question. I suppose I could always pack up my tackle box, sit down somewhere and cast my line and wait for the fish to bite. Huh? You aren't going to go to the actual festival? Nope, I don't care too much for the hustle and bustle of the festival. After all, crowds drive the fish away. You really like fishing, don't you? Now, I know the anniversary festival brings heaps of work along with it, but I sure would love it if I have a chance to slack off presents itself. Boy, oh boy, being a doctor isn't everything it's cracked up to be. Well, if you keep dumping your work on your Leiten, I think you will have a bit of free time. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to go to the anniversary festival. Then we're going to bring the anniversary festival here to you. If possible, of course. Oh, sometimes you almost don't want to leave this place. It's just too comfy. On top of that, the doctors and nurses are so nice to everyone. Oh, I think I can manage to extend my stay. Well, it's a hospital, not an inn, so when you're better, you have to leave. Okie dokie, time to take your temperature for the day. You ready? I'll just stick this thermometer in real quick. Excuse me, miss, I'm perfectly okay with you taking my temperature, but why do you have 10 thermometers? Oh, well, if I accidentally break one while taking your temperature, I have plenty of backups. It's a foolproof plan. I have a bad feeling about this. How in the world does she manage to break the thermometer every single time? With this many thermometers, it's no sweat if I make a mistake or two. I've got everything under control. I fear for the patient sometimes. Oh, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that one of my co-workers is absolutely best friends with Ilya Placher. Do you think it would be weird to ask Cecile if she could get Ilya to sign something for me? Well, it seems like you can't swing a stick in Crossbell without hitting an Ilya fan. Do you think it would be weird to ask Cecile if you could get Ilya to sign something for me? If I can't find the right time, maybe I'll give it a shot. Well, I'm sure you can ask, but don't be too surprised if you get no. Cause it is pretty intrusive. And Lloyd, even if it's just to test it out, if there are actually that much Ilya fans, I don't think it's right to go through Crossbell swinging a stick around. I truly don't. So, after finding out Cecile is friends with Ilya Placher, the rest of the nurses have gotten their panties in a bunch. Honestly, if they really must fixate over something about Cecile, I wish it would be her incredible work ethic. After finding out that Cecile is friends with Ilya Placher, the rest of the nurses have gotten their panties in a bunch. Oh Lloyd, spectacular timing. I just managed to get my hands on 2 tickets for Arkansas's show next month. If you're free, won't you go with me? Really? Oh, thanks Cecile, I'd love to. I can't say exactly when I'll be free due to work and all, but I definitely want to go if I'm able to. Music to my ears. In that case, I'll be sure to keep this ticket just for you, Lloyd. Judging by how impressive that practice looked, the real deal must be out of this world. Planning dates while on the job, are we? Very professional, Lloyd. Lloyd, you lucky son of a bitch. Man, those glares could practically burn a hole through me. I really hope we'll be able to see Ark and Seal's new show together, Lloyd. You better find some time, okay? Sure, I'll try my best. The Theo stare, best stare ever. Oh, my head. It's like I can sense when Cerrone is out there doing something utterly moronic. Oh, goddess, have I developed some kind of Cerrone-specific sixth sense from all the time I spent around her? Surely Cerrone can at least take someone's temperature. Right? On second thought, I'll check on her later. Well, check how many thermometers he has left, because if it's less than 10, check your patience. There might be some, let's just say, thermometers lost inside of them. My next operation is a relatively minor one, but I absolutely will not take any shortcuts. Surgeons hold an obligation to the patient and themselves to follow that credo. This isn't a field you could afford to be sloppy in. Well, even if it's a minor operation for you, doctor, for the patient, every operation is a big one. I am finally having my surgery later. They told me that my surgeon's going to be Dr. Belding, so that's reassuring, but the butterflies won't go away. Yeah, I could totally understand. Every surgery, it's terrifying. I think I might have caught a cold after sleeping without the blanket on. I left the window open all night too, so I get what I get for exposing myself to the bitter elements. Was I asleep? All this waiting causes me to doze off. Phew, that was a close one. Hospital waiting rooms are my true weakness. A few minutes in and I'm fast asleep. Then maybe they need to make some more comfortable chairs. Or maybe that's the reason why they have benches, because if there is no back padding, and if you do fall asleep, you just fall off the bench and wake up. There is a genius inside that madness. Well, I recently confronted Cecile and asked her if she really is friends with Ark and Seal's Ilya Placher, and she said she was, just like that. I guess it wasn't a secret after all. Yeah, it wasn't a secret, but if nobody knows and nobody asks and she isn't telling, then how can they know? I have a business meeting today, so I really ought to get out of here sooner rather than later. This wait is taking forever. How is it not my turn yet? If any of you ever been to a hospital, it doesn't matter where you go, waiting times are always atrocious. Make a meeting at 5 and take at least until 6 o'clock before you see a doctor. It's insane. I couldn't help but get a little nervous when I learned that my doctor's actually a professor. But he ended up being an excellent physician. It's hard to explain, but his way of speaking laid all my worries to rest. I trusted him. Good, then why are you still here? Are you waiting for some medication? Oh, Superintendent Kirsch and Marone both technically work under Chief Clark, but between you and me, I hear that the superintendent got the chief wrapped around her little finger. I was having a nice lunch over at the cafeteria, but then Kirsch kicked me out. No hospital staff allowed during lunch hours, he told me. Oh well, and how could I argue with that? Oh dear, I can't say no to her, can I? She certainly is an intimidating woman. Some women just are. Do you remember when those delinquents were brought to the hospital a couple of months ago? A chill ran down my spine the moment I heard about it, just thinking that Keynes might be one of them. And yet, even after all that turmoil, he still chooses to stick with that gang of his. Goddess above, I wish he would stop giving me so much to worry about. It seems that my son doesn't think too well of me. For years now, work has caused me to be an absentee father. I suppose it's no wonder Keynes doesn't respect me. Perhaps I'm partially to blame for my son getting wrapped up with those delinquents. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but you probably did have your hand in that. Even if it was not willingly. Oh, Chief Ursuline not only serves as a chief of our department, but also as an associate professor. Still, she usually prefers to hold herself up in her lab researching rather than giving lectures. In that sense, she is a pretty unique position here at St. Ursula. I can see her doing it all the time. Just researching all the time. Oh, this is one particular engineer who I respect above all others. She's Erica Russell, daughter of the famous Professor A. Russell, and she currently works at Liberal CF. Despite being in such a male-dominant field, she claimed her place as a leading authority on orbital technology in Liberal. We may not be in the same position, but as a fellow woman, I strive to achieve the same level of greatness in the medical field. Well, in all honesty, you both are almost on the same level of eccentricity, definitely. You with your studies and research, she with her daughter. Professor Erica Russell's intelligence and prowess when it comes to the orbital technology are even on par with her father's. We may not be in the same position, but as a fellow woman, I strive to achieve the same level of greatness in the medical field. I wish you the best of luck, I truly do. Alright, that's the doctor with the side quest. Can I really trust them to come all this way for a request like that? Perhaps I should have asked the Brazier Guild after all. Either way, I don't particularly want to empty my wallet for such a simple errand. Hard to get a word in edgewise. Excuse me, sir? We're from the Crossbell Police Department, Special Support Section. Oh, you came. I've been waiting for you. Come now, take a seat. Thanks, but we're alright. Standing is just fine. Would you mind explaining the details of your support request, Doctor? Yes, of course. My request is simple, really. I need you to retrieve a certain herb that we use in our internal medicine lab. It's called lupinous grass. Sadly, it's become something of a rarity these days. Lupinous, as in the Lupinous River, which flows through Crossbell City Harbor? Could be. So you want us to find the grass ourselves and bring it here? No, not exactly. All I need for you is to obtain some from the Crossbell Cathedral. They should have a small reserve supply of the herb. Archbishop Eralda has already agreed to my request, so I would like for you to go there as my representative and pick it up. I'd go myself normally, but I'm a bit preoccupied at the moment. Well, I think we can oblige, Dr. Lago. You said Archbishop Eralda of the Crossbell Cathedral? That's him. Thanks for your help. Once you get the lupinous grass, please bring it back here straight away. I need you to travel to Crossbell Cathedral and acquire some lupinous grass from Archbishop Eralda. Oh, and just so you know, the Archbishop can be quite moody, even more so than me. So be sure to mind your manners around him. More moody than you? I seriously doubt that, but saying he's moody, I think I know which person it is within the cathedral. So let us see if we can go and find him. Guess we'll take the bus back to Crossbell and then straight back to the cathedral. Okay, if I'm correct with who this person is, it should be the bishop here in the side room. Because he did seem to be a bit moody last couple of times I talked to him. Can I help you with something? This is the office of Archbishop Eralda. You cannot simply barge in here. Okay, so we are in the right room, not the right person. So, where is he? We'll find him. There should be at least someone that knows where he is. Whenever Dieter Croix of the IBC visits to pray, he always arrives in a huge limousine. He comes close to running me over a few times, but I just can't seem to get upset whenever I see that gleaming smile of his. Ah, welcome to Crossbell Cathedral. I think the name Archbishop Arelda should have rung a bell. What, may I ask, brings you all here today? You're Archbishop Arelda, correct? We're the special support section of the CPD. We're about one of our support requests. Ah, on duty, are we? Yes, sir. We received a request for the doctor in charge of the internal medicine department at St. Ursula's Hospital, Dr. Lago. I believe he contacted you about getting a sample of the lupinous grass you have here. Unfortunately, he's very busy back at St. Ursula, so he asked us to retrieve the herb in his stead. Wait a moment. Lago. You did say Dr. Lago, yes? I did indeed receive a letter from him just the other day, but this is the first time I've heard of such a request. There's gotta be some mistake. There is no mistake. The reason for this is quite simple. I've made it my prerogative to ignore every letter sent by this doctor of yours. What now? But why? That is no business of yours. Besides, I already swore upon the goddess to uphold this solemn vow. Hey Lloyd, something tells me Dr. Lago didn't exactly give us all the details. Yeah, it would appear they have a rather complicated relationship. And probably the real reason why he didn't go himself. But that puts us in kind of a tight spot, doesn't it? Still, we accepted the doctor's request. It's our duty to follow through, no matter how difficult the Archbishop may be. Excuse us, Archbishop Arelda. What is it? We were informed by Dr. Lago that he intends to use all these herbs for internal medicine research. Considering how renowned St. Ursula is as a medicinal institute, I'm sure those herbs will go a long way in helping future patients. We don't intend to ask any personal questions about you and the doctor's relationship. However, despite your differences, is it not at all possible for you to let Dr. Lago have some of the lupinous grass? It seems as though you four have misunderstood me. When did I say that I wouldn't hand over the herbs? You will find the lupinous grass in my office, towards the back of the sanctuary on the left. If you tell Father Renton that you have my permission, he should supply you with the grass without any problems. Now, I'd say this conversation has reached its end. Go on, get going. Thank you, sir? Well then. That took less convincing than I was expecting. Did we even actually convince him to do anything in the first place? It sounded like he intended to give it to us anyway. I'm still confused about the whole ordeal. Would it not be wise to pick up the lupinous grass before he changes his mind? Oh, we definitely should. He said it was in the office in the back left, right? Okay, let's hurry over. Yeah, we know that office. How can I help you? This is the office of Archbishop Arelda. You can't simply barge in here. Oh, sorry about that. We're the special support section of the CPD. You see, Lloyd explained that the SSS had Archbishop Arelda's permission to pick up some lupinous grass. Ah, I see. If you already have the Archbishop's approval, then that's fine. Very well. Wait just a minute then. Here, one sample of lupinous grass. If you wondered about the name lupinous, it is actually from an old word meaning wolf. And this particular herb has a fascinating history. It is said that it was gifted to mankind by the divine wolves a long, long time ago. It could once be found in abundance near Crossbell City, but all the recent development has caused it to become very scarce. I think I remembered my father telling me the same story when I was little. Really? I never knew about it. That just raises another question. If the grass is so rare, why would Archbishop Arelda just hand it over like this? Can't say I understand it either. I got the vibe that he's not the biggest fan of Dr. Lago. I admit, I'm a little curious about this apparent drama between them. Ah, you're talking about the bad blood between the Archbishop and Lago. Well, it is not really a secret around here. You see, before he was a doctor, Lago was originally studying to be a priest at this very cathedral. Dr. Lago wanted to work in the church? Oh, there's nothing strange about the notion, actually. When it comes to internal medicine, even the most cutting-edge medical science isn't too far off from healing techniques the Septian Church will often study. That is true. The church is known for its research into medical treatments and the like. Oh, but why exactly did Dr. Lago leave to join the medical college? Supposedly he was scouted out by the hospital director at the time. Despite learning everything he knew about the general medicine from Archbishop Beralda, he also had a strong ambition to take on the challenge of modern medicine, so he ended up leaving the path of priesthood. The Archbishop tends to be a bit hard-headed, so he had trouble forgiving Dr. Lago for leaving the path of the clergy. I get that. Lago's move probably felt like a backstab. Well, stubborn as the Archbishop may be, he knows when it's important to set aside his personal feelings for the greater good. The fact that he allowed you to have those herbs is a prime example. In other words, though he may scowl at the mere mention of Dr. Lago, he at least still has respect for his abilities as a physician. So, from what I'm hearing, those two do not have a complicated relationship after all. They in fact have an obnoxiously complicated relationship. Isn't that a bit too blunt, Theo? Either way, in the end we got what we came here for. Let's go and deliver these to Dr. Lago before doing anything else. I agree. Let's just deliver it back, get our confirmation, and just get back to our normal stuff. Stubborn as he may be, the Archbishop is actually a very sensible person when it comes down to it. Beneath the hard-headed front he puts on, I have no doubt he truly recognizes Dr. Lago's ability. It does seem that way, it does. But yeah, first studying under him and then going to the medicine college, yeah, I can understand why he would be upset. Yes, you still need something from me? You have the herbs, don't you? So get on with delivering them. Oh well. After all, he isn't as bad as it sounded at first. Bit weird, but aren't we all? Oh no, we're staying in Crossbell. Alright, let's go. In all honesty, this delivery ain't actually that bad. Because they're actually rather simple. And it gave us a little bit more insight between Dr. Lago and of course the Archbishop. Ah, back already? Did you get the lupinous grass like I asked? Yes sir. Would you mind checking that everything's in order? Yes, that is just what I needed. You have my thanks. Now, well, I'm sure the Archbishop told you some stories about me, didn't he? Nope, nothing in particular. Apparently, he did not even open the letter you sent, Doctor. I knew it. I never received a reply, so I figured he must have never bothered to read it. So that whole thing about him agreeing to the deal was a lie? Well, it wasn't easy getting the stuff, since you came with no appointment. I truly am sorry about that. It is hard to talk about these sort of things. Due to our strange relationship, I turned to the special support section to go in my stead. That is the truth. One of the priests there filled us in. Despite his stubbornness, I'm almost positive that Archbishop Beralda approves of the path you chose, Dr. Lago. Is that so? You know, I've always respected him. That much has never changed. Someday when medical care has progressed and become more accessible, I'll meet with him to apologize and thank him for all he's done. I think he would really appreciate that, sir. Anyway, you've been a great help to Saint Ursula. If I need anything else, I'll give the SSS a call. Anytime, Doctor. I am in your debt, everyone. Now, I have a lecture coming up, so I'm afraid I'll have to excuse myself. If I need anything else, I'll give the SSS a call. We'll be here ready to help. Alright, I think that's the entirety of the hospital done. So let's head back to Crossbell City, and maybe we can talk a little bit to the people in the eastern sector before we say our goodbyes today. Because to be honest, I am very curious to see if Joshua and Estelle are in town or if they're out on a mission somewhere. And if they are on a mission somewhere, we're gonna track them down. 100% for certain. Ah, don't leave me alone, boy. Mommy said you had to take care of me today. The IBC's very own CEO, Dieter Croix, has shown expertise in each and every one of the many jobs he's undertaken over the years. He's always had great sense when it comes to business, but he really became a big shot in the business world lately. And despite all of his successes, no one can really become to hate him. It's probably because he's a virtuous man. Oh, at long last, the anniversary festival will be here next month. I need to work out my shopping budget and make sure I can enjoy it to the fullest. Operation Teach My Ling Matters ended in complete failure. I'm just afraid that we've been spoiling her a little bit too much. I wasn't expecting her to turn on the waterworks though. Now I feel awful. Well, keep at it, cause she can learn if she really wants to. Oh, the anniversary festival is just a month away now. I really hope Essie's will come and play with me. Oh right, I can't exactly afford anything too expensive, but it's been a while since the three of us all got to spend some time relaxing together. If all three of you can hang out during the anniversary, I think it would be a very nice time. Oh, I used to be a street vendor back in the day, and a pretty darn good one at that. I used to set up shop where Kronk keeps his stall. I let him have the spot when I retired. I was more than happy to pass down to such a passionate young man as him. So all the blood he's spilling is in honor of you. The IBC is home to the largest brokerage firm in all of Sumeria. There are business competitors, but in honesty, we actually have our moments where we must rely on them. My company entrusted a portion of its stock to them in order to keep a steady market price. The RBC's brokerage firm is my company's largest competitor. However, there have been times when we relied on them too. Life isn't only about picking fights. No, it's about choosing which fight to fight. Alright, so they're not home. They're definitely out on business somewhere. Maybe they're at the Brazier Guild itself. I'm sure you guys have heard by now, but Argensteel's newest show is debuting soon and I cannot wait. I had those tickets in my hot little hands seconds after they went on sale. Opening night can't come soon enough. Whoa, lucky. It sure as hell ain't easy to get such early tickets. Are you also a fan of Ilias, Michel? I think Comrade in Arms will be a better description than fan. Can't you see for yourselves? Both she and I have been burdened with such utterly sinful good looks. As a devotee of beauty who pursues it in all forms, of course, I feel a kinship with my fellow disciple, Ilia Platier. Is anyone going to say something? You guys know it was a joke, right? Oh, that was definitely not a joke. You clearly believe that. We all know how amazing Ilia is, but I'm expecting great things from a new girl too. You know the one. That poor dear who's looking at their future full of back problems. Oh, but more than either of them, I'm looking forward to a smoldering duel between the handsome duo, Theodore and Eugene. Yeah, we know. Well, let's be honest, if you are going to the show, the magic between Ilia and Riksha, that's gonna be the main part. Estelle and Joshua. Oh yeah, of course. That was still on this round. They were in mains talking to Hayworth, of course. Yeah. How can I just forget about that? Tangram Gate, we haven't been there yet. That's of course on the America side of things. I mean, the rest of them are upstairs in areas he's way out of our reach. Have you guys heard about the raids on the Bracer Guild that happened in the Empire about 2 years ago? Wenzel was in the Empire at the time, so he was able to help resolve the conflict. I do remember hearing about the incident. There was quite the uproar. Many of the guild's branches were all but completely destroyed by a series of terrorist attacks carried out by Jaegers. Wow, I can't believe you were involved in such a huge case. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised though, seeing the kinds of things you've done here. Oh, it was nothing, I was only doing my job. The ones who made a real difference were the high-ranking brazier that came to assist the guild. Their brilliant strategic abilities were key to solving things. My role just happened to be a little bit more publicly visible, that's all. More importantly, Scott, have you been able to see your fiancée lately? Oh no, not at all, unfortunately. There's not much I can do considering how busy we both are. At this rate, we probably won't even be able to plan our wedding for some time. I'm going to have to find a way to make it up to her. I know brazier work is very important, but you're also supposed to have a personal life afterwards, so spend some time with your fiancé, really. The Imperial government have been trying their darndest to diminish the guild's influence out there ever since that incident. I'm just lucky that the Crossbell branch managed to drag me out that sticky situation. Actually, forget I said anything. I'm on duty and it's got nothing to do with the job at hand. That is true. And knowing what the future holds, I am not gonna spoil it for you. I recommend casting your line over on Ursula Road around this time of year. One of our comrades in Rhodes actually works at St. Ursula's Medical College too. He keeps telling me about how the ditches work to go up the road and catch some fish. Well, there's someone who loves to fish that much at St. Ursula's Medical College? Wait, it couldn't be him, could it? Yeah, it's him. He already told us that during the festival he just wants to fish. So, yeah, it's gotta be him. Oh, we'll catch every single kind of fish out there if it's the last thing we do. And considering how the game has been so far, I think we can probably do it anytime we want, just as long as we have access to different rods and different bait. Right, let's see the old couple. Thanks to the IBC, Crossbell boasts the continent's largest international bank. Crossbell's home to many successful merchants, but they can't hold a candle to the IBC's astronomical success. The IBC has always been helmed by especially talented CEOs who've managed to stay the company's course, even through rough times. To us, the IBC is one of the many prides of Crossbell. The IBC is the world's largest international bank. It is safe to say that it's one of Crossbell's pride and joy. Oh, while we're on the topic of the IBC, I believe Mr. Croix was good friends with Major McDowell's son-in-law. Major's son-in-law was a politician a long time ago. Both Mr. Croix and Major McDowell have girls around the same age too. I seem to recall hearing the two are close as sisters. Well, we'll see how close they are as soon as we reach the IBC, but that's still a little bit away. Because right now we have 3 more quests in the regions we have to explore, so we still have some time. Morning folks, for the time being I'm going to buy fish from the Fisherman Guild. They've got a hefty supply and they're plenty fresh. The delayed shipments have been a pain in my butt, but I'll have to make do however I can. The usual delivery truck got into an accident, so shippings are currently postponed. I need to figure out a plan on how to deal with this. Oh, all my boys work at the construction site. That's fine and all, but whenever they're home, it's just non-stop complaining about how hard their jobs are. And yet I'm the one who has a buttload of chores to deal with, and they still act like they're the only hard workers in the house. It is always hard to figure out how much to stock for the anniversary festival. Vegetables are only good when they're fresh, so I gotta make sure I don't overstock them, or I'll be left with gross mush. But if I don't stock enough, I'll run out quickly and cause trouble for my customers. It's a constant struggle. It's always been hard to figure out how much to stock for the anniversary festival. A constant struggle. It definitely is. I managed to save even more Mary than I thought I would today. I can't let it get to my head though. I'll probably end up blowing it on a bunch of dumb stuff anyway. I've gotta get a better job of saving up my allowance. Well, trust me, when the anniversary comes here, you're gonna blow through all the anniversary stands. I can guarantee that. Oh, hi there. Are you interested in my goods? Everybody sure loves offering discounts during the anniversary festival. We're no exception, obviously. So come on and buy some produce. Alright, so they're promising us a discount, so we'll definitely be back. Oh, welcome all. We've got some new products for you today. Why don't you take a little look? Oh, welcome all. Still not seeing anything big new, but that's fine. Alright, I think I will leave it here for today. I know we still have the restaurant, but I know that in the restaurant we have one of our other side quests. And if we start it, I will feel the need to complete it, so we're gonna wait until the next episode. So for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time as we continue to complete all the side quests we have left. See you then. Bye bye.